I've been trying this new like syrup stuff. Y'all probably like, what? I've been trying this new stuff on my face that's supposed to get rid of hyperpigmentation, and I didn't realize that like everything that I put on my face is really like shiny plus Vaseline. So I apologize. So I don't live in my past. I was talking to my mom yesterday, and we're talking about how like when you reunite with people in your past, let's say if you go like a longer period of time without talking to somebody because you guys kind of like disconnect, or you guys for some reason fall out or don't talk anymore, or you guys just aren't on the same path, right? And then you follow back up with that person, and you follow back up with that person, you guys connect back, and that person brings up your past and brings up different things that you did and said and different things like that, but you're not that type of person. You're not that person anymore. So my mom and I was talking about that, and I'm glad that she brought that up because I experienced that. So there's a lot of people that I decided, okay, look, you're no longer serving a purpose in my life. So for my sake, I have to go ahead and I have to let you go. Right? So I did that with a lot of people. Then when we reconnect or we talk again, they're talking about the past, bro. They're talking about my show, that will say rude things to people, my show that's not as patient, and they will bring up like different, like, you guys, I told you I got bullied a lot and different things, and I used to fight a lot. So people like to bring that up. And the thing is that when people bring that up, it's triggering. I'm not gonna say it's triggering, but it shows me that that person no longer needs to be in my life, and it shows me that that person is small-minded, because who I was 5 years ago, who I was 10 years ago, that's not the woman that I've evolved into. That's not the person that I am today. The way I used to talk back then 10 years ago, I don't talk like that anymore. The way I used to look 10 years ago, I don't look like that anymore. The way I used to communicate with others 10 years ago, I don't communicate with others like that now in the present. So it's like, the person that they bring up, I don't live there anymore, and I don't want to live there anymore because God delivered me from that person. And people really don't think that people that are small-minded and they don't believe they can change and they're not trying to change, they believe that other people can't change. And the crazy thing about it is that people can change, and I know people can change because I've changed. God has transformed my life. The way I talk to you guys, when people talk to me, they're like, wow, like, Michelle, you have done 100% transformation. Like, you are not the same person that you were that I once knew in high school. Like, it's like I'm talking to a whole nother human being. Like, even the way you talk is different. The way you communicate, the way you look, everything is completely different, and that's true. And the thing is that I don't want to be around people that bring up my past. I don't live there anymore, and I'm not trying to live there anymore. And there's a lot of things in my past that I look back and it's cringy as hell. Or sometimes, I don't know if you guys experience this. Sometimes things pop up in my head of like things, like a situation that happened or things that I said, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. Why did I say that? Why did I react like that? Why didn't I consider the other person's feelings? Why did I tell that person that? Why wasn't I considerate of the other person's feelings? Like, I think back on things like that, and I gotta pray because it bothers me. But like, you live and you grow, and I'm living and I'm constantly growing and I'm constantly getting better. So I'm just saying that if you're around somebody that holds the past over your head, you need to get away from them, most definitely, if you're trying to change your life. You can't change your life when people are constantly bringing up the things that you used to do. You can't change your life. For example, let's say if I have a lot of homeboys and a lot of family members that went to prison, right? I have a homeboy that went to prison. He got out. He's doing fantastic. He graduated from college. He's working. He's taking care of his kids. He's sober. So for somebody to come up to him and be like, hey, bro, I remember when you used to do drugs. Or I remember when you were in and out of jail. Why would you do that to him? Why would you do that? He's on a great path. You shouldn't bring up nobody's past because people change and people grow. And if you are around people that are just small-minded and don't want to grow, you're not going to grow. So make up your mind on what you want to do. Make up your mind what you want to do. I noticed that when God started transforming my life, the people that I used to be around that was of the world and that were not trying to get closer to God and that were good with living, in the world, I noticed that I cannot be around them anymore because I didn't talk their lingo. I wasn't on their vibe. I wasn't on what they were on anymore. So I couldn't be around them. So then I started transforming, and God took me out of that situation. God removed me from that friendship. And so now I'm here now. So even when I'm looking back on like, even when I hear myself talking, I'm amused because I'm like, dang, like I took, even though when I was trying to change and become a better person and try to change my ways and not be my trauma and get a hold of my trauma and don't become my trauma, I noticed that I did a lot of backsliding. Like I'll do good, but then I'll mess up, or I'll do good and then the situation come up and I snap, and I don't handle the situation how I should have handled it. You know what I mean? So like a lot of different things, a lot of backsliding, a lot of relapsing, a lot of going back to old ways, and I kept trying. I kept working on it. So don't let people hold your past over you. You're not that person. And if that person's doing that to you, you need to get far away from them as possible, because we don't live in the past, baby. We live in the future.